Alright, last video of 2019, I made it. Do you really want to be an industrial designer? Like, do you actually really want to be an industrial designer? And the reason why I say that is because I receive a lot of messages from you guys through my Instagram. And so if you haven't followed me yet, definitely hit me up. The link should be down below. It's where I post a lot of my design work and the products I've been working on. And check me out there and just send me a message. And if I have time, I'll get to you. And if not, I'm sorry, I can't get to everybody. Huge amount of you guys have sent me questions along these lines. Jimmy, I'm a mechanical engineer, a graphics designer, or an artist. I already have a degree in this field. How do I switch to industrial design? Do I have to take a master's degree? Where do I learn all these skills? I always try to answer you guys the best way I possibly can and try to guide you to where you can actually get from where you are to where you want to be, which is industrial design. I try to answer everybody's unique case, and I hope that you guys can do it. But then on the flip side, I'm a little bit scared for you guys that ask me this kind of question. I'm scared that you don't quite exactly know what industrial design is. What if I convince you into it, show you the way to do it, and then once you're there, once you are an industrial designer, you're like, this is not what it's all cracked up to be, and I don't know if I want to be an industrial designer anymore. Let me switch to something else. I really want you guys to kind of narrow down exactly what you want to be, know what industrial design actually is, and it will allow you to make the right decision for yourself and for your career. Industrial design is only one small aspect under the giant umbrella, which is product development. At the end of the day, we're all trying to develop these products that people will use. They're going to be mass produced, sold on the market and marketed, and people will buy them and use them. This is a major field, and industrial designers are only a small part of that. And there's actually other career paths out there that are similar to industrial design that are still under the product development category, just not necessarily industrial design. So let's just jump into it. The first one is product management. A product manager is in charge of like schedule, but primarily it's going to be more of a combination of a business type of mindset and a product development type of mindset. They have to know their competition, what their competition is selling, some of the features that this category of product is selling. And so they'll have bullet points of the features that this product is going to need if we're going to be developing a product within this category. The product managers actually work closely with industrial designers, and so this could be a possibility for you to consider. Look up product managers. It has to do a lot with developing products and making products without actually being a designer itself. And guys, stick around towards the end of this list and I'll go ahead and explain what an industrial designer actually does. So that's a product manager, guys. And also to consider is that product managers, I feel like if you actually were to take that route, there could be a possibility where it's sort of easier to find a job. It's not as, I would say, competitive in a way, and product managers actually do get paid a good amount, slightly higher or more than an industrial designer. So definitely a career path to consider. Let's move on to the next category, which is kind of like a very technical person or a model maker or a prototyper. I know a lot of industrial designers who took the industrial design route, but actually they're more suited for this type of category, this prototyper, technical, hands-on type of person. And the reason is because in industrial design, they're going to teach you a ton of different skills specifically to become a designer. But if you actually just want to become a technical person, this is going to take a lot less training, a lot less school. This type of person is going to be doing stuff like running 3D printers or contacting manufacturing houses and getting samples from them. Or it could be somebody that is just really technical and can do a lot of testing on these products or figure out certain parts and components. This is a very hands-on, very technical type of person that I know a lot of you guys are. This is just something that you kind of develop over time through your experience, just working on stuff and creating stuff and making stuff with your hands. Okay, so the next one I got here is engineering. So I get a lot of you guys ask me, I'm an engineer, I'm a mechanical engineer, how do I become an industrial designer? And so maybe you haven't selected mechanical engineer or industrial designer yet, but it could easily be that you might want to become a mechanical engineer over an industrial designer. Say if you like to know the physics and the numbers and actually know how things actually work, building certain parts and just being very mechanically savvy, that's going to be a better route for you to take rather than being an industrial designer. A mechanical engineer is going to be extremely more technical, and their primary focus is going to be to figure out how to make this product functional and how to make it work and how to make it manufacturable. A mechanical engineer is going to be more of that end, whereas an industrial designer is more of a creative kind of end, of more of a humanistic usability type of a person. If you're more of the technical, like how do I make this work? How do I make this function? Mechanical engineer might be a better path for you than industrial design. The next one is an electrical engineer. So just like a mechanical engineer, but an electrical engineer has to deal with the electronics and the internals and just the componentry inside of a product. I develop consumer electronics. So this is not just like home goods or furniture where it's just kind of like the materials and the product itself. Consumer electronics is different in a way where there's going to be circuit boards and parts and electronics inside of the product that will be used. If you have an LED that lights up, this is something that you're going to be figuring out if you were an electrical engineer. And so if you're more of the electrical engineer type of person, like you're soldering, buying like Arduinos and programming and doing all that kind of stuff, you might want to consider electrical engineer direction rather than an industrial designer. Moving on to a technician. A technician is gonna be somebody that seems really, really similar to an industrial designer. There are people out there that really just like rendering, playing around with lighting and colors and materials and trying to figure out like how to make the most realistic textures and creating beautiful presentations, creating renderings on packaging and just stuff like that. If all you like to do is rendering, you don't have to be an industrial designer to do that. You can just take some courses to render and have a resume and a portfolio, and you can easily find a job where the only thing you would do is rendering. Or for example, you could also do similar stuff like graphics design when it comes to products. So I know there's a huge thing out there when it comes to working with 3D files, knowing how to use CAD and 3D programs. A lot of people, they do become industrial designers and then they end up finding a job that's not necessarily a designer position. They just only do renderings or only do line work or only do graphics, because an industrial designer can do that. But our main goal and our main mission is to essentially design the product. So I'm going to just begin talking about what industrial designer does. So an industrial designer, we work with either our boss or our client or our product manager. We collaborate with other people that are making decisions for this product. And they also have a vision. They also have an understanding of where this product can be. An industrial designer also has the skills that will help guide them to achieve what they're looking for. An industrial designer will grab that idea from this person. So if it's your boss or the product manager, let's say you're trying to design a computer mouse, they're going to try to understand, well, is this computer mouse going to be a symmetrical mouse, left-handed mouse, an ergonomic mouse? Is it going to have LEDs on it? Is it going to have some kind of texture? Is it going to be small? There's a lot of things that people are going to specify in a product, and your job is to kind of take all of these requirements. They'll do a lot of sketches, try out a bunch of different forms, a bunch of different shapes, what would be the direction that we like the most. Then we'll move on to something like a more refined sketch or perhaps a Photoshop rendering, where it kind of gives you a better visualization of what this product can actually be. And then from there, we'll go on to maybe 3D CAD. We'll use SolidWorks to start building this idea in 3D. 3D is awesome because it allows you to change and manipulate stuff in a very precise way. You can also 3D print it so that you can actually hold the mouse in your hand and see how it feels. That's the beauty of a 3D model, is that you can 3D print it and actually see how it feels. You could also create 3D renderings from it. And our job is to help solve those issues, figuring out problem areas that people have and make people's lives better through these products. That takes very specific type of training. These are other routes that you can possibly take that will perhaps benefit you and be a better match than industrial design. I really want you guys to kind of narrow down exactly what you want and what you're looking for. for and if you think industrial design is right for you. If you were to have asked me what industrial design is my very first year at Cal State Long Beach, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I just said we draw and make products, right? It's only later down the line did I actually fully understand what industrial design is. And so I want to share that with you guys so that you guys have a better understanding of it yourselves. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed my explanation there. If you did, definitely hit that thumbs up button. Also leave a comment down below if there's anything else you'd like me to talk about. This is the last video of 2019. As I said, it has been a crazy year, and I'm going to try to be more active on this channel and try to take YouTube more seriously. I get really motivated with making YouTube videos, and then things happen in my life and then I take a couple weeks off. But in the back of my mind, I always know that I should be making more videos and that I want to make more videos. That is going to be one of my New Year's resolutions, is to keep on making more quality videos. All right, guys. Anyways, my name is Jimmy. Happy New Year's, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh.